Hey y'all, happy Tuesday, happy spoken word Tuesday. I hope you guys days come along fine. Anyway, you guys know on Tuesdays, I like to bring a word, all right? And for this Tuesday, I'm in the New Testament, you guys. And if you guys recall, I read to you guys Saint Mark, right? So you guys know there are four gospels: Saint Mark, Saint Matthew, Saint Luke, and Saint John. Okay, so I read to you guys Saint Matthew when the Father was talking about blessed is He and how you guys supposed to live and everything. But each gospel is supposed to confirm one another. But someone may leave out this account or that account because everybody don't perceive things the same way. But each prophet all speaks the same thing almost, like their messages is reaches to the same thing, the same point they're trying to reach. Okay, so today I'm going to be reading out of St. Luke, and he was still in the synagogues, teaching and healing the people. But this particular time, when he was in the synagogues over there with the Pharisees and the Jews, there was a guy came in with a withered hand and everything. And the Pharisees and the scribes wanted to test him, to see if he was sinning because it was on the Sabbath. So, and the Messiah just said to them, what is it good, on Sabbath? Is it good to do good or evil or on Sabbath, So the Messiah just basically saying, now if I heal this man on Sabbath, would that be against the law or not against the law? But basically he also saying that Lord is the man of Sabbath. So we are, Lord of our own Sabbath. But Sabbath to us to still be holy. That Sabbath should be a good thing, none evil doing, okay? But anyway, the Messiah went on and the man that came with the withered hand, because he was, was able to see or hear, what the Pharisees and the scribes were saying into their mind, he put him on blast and had the man to go ahead and stretch his hand out so he make him whole, so he can see this is a good thing and it can be done on Sabbath. So sometimes we get it mixed up with the Sabbath, so people be like, oh, I can't do this on Sabbath. But remember, Lord, the man is the Lord of Sabbath, and it's okay to do good and be holy, but make sure that Sabbath is a holy thing to you, right? So now again, I'm reading out of St. Luke, and this is really confirming St. Mark, St. Matthew, St. John, these three. But like I say, they all four prophets or disciples or apostles, can't perceive everything exactly the same way, but they confirm one another, okay? Now, I'm going to read St. Luke chapter 6, verses 12 through 49, and I just want to tell you people how blessed you can be if you do this, and woe to the people or destruction to the people who don't follow. And it also speaks about, making sure you build your house on a rock. It differentiates if you build on your house on a rock or sand. Okay. All right, you guys. So St. Luke chapter 6, verse 12 to 49, KJV version. Okay. All right, so you guys listen up because this is very important. Messiah telling you guys, if you do these things, bless you are. But if not, woe to you or destruction to you. Okay, just that simple, like black and white. St. Luke chapter 6, verses 12 through 49. Verse 12. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray and continue all night in prayer to God. And when it was day, he called unto him his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostles. Okay, so during this time, that's when he chose the 12 apostles or 12 disciples, right? He went along, chose those 12 after he got through showing the Pharisees and the scribes when he made, that it was good to do good. It was good to do good on Sabbath by making the man who had the withered hand back to whole. Okay, so after he did that, in front of the scribes and the Pharisees throughout Jerusalem and the synagogues, healing everybody, then he decided to take his 12 disciples and they go on into a space where nobody was around, and he chose his 12. All right. So and when it was a day, he called upon him his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostles. So right there we see the disciples and apostles. Simon, who he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which is also a traitor. Okay. don't see the Zebedee brothers. Okay. Verse 17. And he came down with them and stood in the plain in the company of his disciples and a great multitude of people out of all Judea and Jerusalem and from the sea coast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to hear him and to be healed of their diseases. And they that were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed. Okay. So after he chose his disciples and everything, he came back, in front of the multitude. Okay. Verse 19. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went virtue out of him and healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes and he lifted up his eyes on his disciples and said. So when he was picking his disciples, because you guys see, I don't think he chose all 12 because he didn't say James. Well, with James and John, he did say that, but they are the brothers of Zebedee, okay, or the sons of Zebedee. And then he didn't, James and John, Philip, okay. Well, he put it in here, but he didn't specify because normally when he said James and John, it'd be the sons of Zebedee. He made that special for some reason. Okay, all right, so you guys, when he chose his disciples, then he's walking with his disciples, and there was a whole multitude they sought to touch him because he knew that virtue went out of his garments and it would make whoever sick whole. Okay. Now, when he lifted up his disciples, this is what he spoke to the disciples in front of the whole multitude all throughout Judea and Jerusalem. He went through Jerusalem and Judea and all the synagogues, healing all the sick with the infirmities and hitting the lame and everything. Okay. Now, it's very important. This is what he said, to his disciples, okay? But also the whole multitude there too. All right. Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. So this time in verse 20, okay? And he lifted his eyes on his disciples, and this was from the multitude as well, right? And he said, verse 20, blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Verse 21, blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from the company, and you shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sakes. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto their prophets. So what he said ain't nothing new on the sun. The same thing they done to you, they done to the past prophets, the ancient prophets. Okay. So this is all he's saying, blessed is you when a man shall hate you, when they shall separate you from your friends or whatever, they shall reproach you, mean just treat you bad, have disgust in you, right? Cast your name out for evil, put all this reputation on you, make you look bad, right? For the sons of man's sake. Okay? Just because you want to serve the Father through the Messiah. Okay? Verse 23, he said, though, even though that's going to happen, okay? Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. So you see, they did to the father, ancient prophets. Okay. Then, verse 24, he started with the woes, and woes just mean destruction to you. He coming after you with that judgment. Okay. All right. Verse 25. Okay. Verse 24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are poor, for ye shall be hungered. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. See, I heard that them saints would say, yeah, laugh now, cry later, right? You think you rich and you full, but you're going to hunger one of these days, right? So we say that, okay? Verse 26, woe unto you when all men should speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. So what he's saying is, woe unto those people, how people just put people on a pedestal and make them like they God and better than this person and that person and everything. Woe unto them, destruction to them, because they did that to the ancient, the false prophets back then. All those false prophets back then, they put them on pedestals and praised them and everything. Okay, so woe unto them. Okay. Verse 27, but I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you. Okay, so he's saying that in verse 27, he's telling you right now, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, right? Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smited thee on the one cheek also offer the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also. So what he's saying is basically, They gonna try to take it, just give it to them. It ain't even that serious. Because trust and believe me, coals gonna come out their ears anyway. It's gonna smoke them anyway. Because you give it to them, and be like, okay, whatever. Oh, they gonna have so much guilt on their shoulder regardless, right? So in the end, you still gonna win. Okay. All right. Verse 30. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. So if he just saying somebody asks you something, then you got to give it to him. You got it. If you don't got it, he understand that. But if you do got to give it to him, he will bless you 7 times more. And then also, if somebody, you give something and they don't give it back to you, they call themselves, using you or like treating you like a fool, like they feel like you gave it to them, and they feel like, oh, you was stupid anyway, they call your bluff, whatever, like, how do you say that? Pull your whole card, they used to call it. So they call themselves pulling their whole card. You gave it to them, so in that man, they manipulating you, deceiving you, you gave it to them, right? So when it's time for them to pay it back, they ain't know where to be found. They don't want to pay you back, right? So the Messiah just saying, don't even worry about it. Let them have it. Because remember, we all we saw it's coming to them. Okay? All right. Verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, ye also to them likewise. So he's saying, treat somebody how you want to be treated. For if ye love them which love you, what thank ye have? For sinners also have those that love them. So he's saying, okay, you love somebody, you love that person, they love you. What thanks? Why not love somebody who don't love you, right? You know what I mean? What gift or what profit for that? Because you know this person gonna love you because you expect it. Okay? All right. Verse 33. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank ye have? For sinners also do even the same. So he's saying, okay, what profit you have if you're going to do good to somebody who do good to you? Y'all used to that. You go help somebody who can't help themselves, okay? They can't help you back, right? Because that person you doing good to, you expect them to do good back to you, okay? All right, verse 34. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. So he's saying, if you loan to somebody, and basically you probably loan shock and everything, you're going to get it back. You already know that. You expecting of that. But why not go loan to those who can't pay back? That's what he's saying. Those who's in need, you can loan to those, you still going to get your reward, but you're not even going to expect to get it back because they can't pay you back, but the Father in heaven will reward you through his Son. Okay? All right. Verse 35. But love ye your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again, and your reward shall be great. And ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the thankful and to the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. So he's saying is love your enemies, right? Do good to them, lend to people, right? Don't expect to receive it back, right? If you do these, your reward will be great, right? And you will be known as one of the children of the Most High, right? And because the Father, he is kind unto the thankful and the evil, okay? Now he's saying, and be merciful because the Father himself is merciful, okay? Verse 37, judge not, and ye should not be judged. Condemn not, and ye should not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. All right, he's just saying, so if you judge, expect to be judged, right? But if you don't judge, then you got to be judged, right? If you condemn somebody, then you will be condemned, right? If you forgive, you will be forgiven. But if you don't forgive, you won't be forgiven, okay? Not by the Father. He said he ain't going to forgive you. Can't forgive your own brother and sister, right? Living in la-la land. All right, verse 38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye meet withal, it shall be measured to you again. So saying, if you give, whatever measure you give is what you're going to receive, right? Give good measure, you should receive good measure. Shaking together, pressed down, running over. Don't mind if you go help somebody run over, because yours going to run over in return, right? Whatever you got in your bosom, give it to the man. Whatever measure you give to that person, the Father is going to give it back to you in that measure, okay? Verse 39. And he spake a parable unto him. And listen to this, okay? Because this is very true. We live this every day. He said, can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? So what he's saying is, how you leading that person, you blind yourself. You leading that person to fall in the same ditch you fall into. You see? So the blind cannot lead the blind unless they both fall in the ditch together. Verse 40, the disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. Okay, let me read that again. The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be like his master. So he's saying, if you really got a great master, that master, when he train and teach you, you're going to be good as that master. But these days, you got masters who don't want to teach them because they feel like taking away from them. But I mean, when you got to grow older, die, leave your legacy to somebody else. You can't go, it can't go with you. Okay? So just saying, you know, a good master, when he teach somebody or train somebody, that person going to represent him well like he's a master as well, because he's going to teach it and do learn just like a master, or teach like a master, and be professional and perfect like that master who taught them. Okay? Verse 41. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but receiving not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thy own eye? Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. So what's saying is, how you gonna come tell me something and you guilty of the same thing, right? What makes you better, right? You know who died and made you king or queen, right? We both suffering the same thing. So you come to me and tell me to change, but you're not even changing. The same thing you can tell me, the beam in my eye is still in your beam eye. So how you gonna talk and we gonna be cool? You trying to come talk to me and mend us, you know, stop the contention. But before we can stop the contention, first you got to go judge yourself. You examine yourself and make sure you is right before you come tell me that I'm wrong. Okay? So make sure you pull the beam out your eye before you come to me and point mine out. Verse 43. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither do a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. So he's saying, you know, just a prime example. Bad fruits don't come from bad trees. Bad fruit come from bad trees, and good fruit come from good trees. So just a prime example, that parent, you see somebody out and you see their child representing them. You know, the parent is the tree, the child is the fruit. Now, how is that child out there representing their mother, father? Are they representing them with corruption? You know, is that fruit corrupted, or are they representing them with righteousness? So remember, how they say the fruit don't fall far from a tree. So that child is your fruit, or whatever works you doing. Is your fruit being productive, or they being corruptive? So it's just saying, if you a good person and following righteousness, then you're going to produce good fruit. But if you a person of evil and wickedness and folly, trust and believe me, in your heart, it's going to be evil. You're going to produce corrupt fruit. It's just like that. Ain't no way of getting around it. Because a good tree produce good fruits, and the bad tree produce bad fruits. Okay? It's like 1 + 1 = 2. No way around it. All right. Verse 45. A good man out of the good treasures of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasures of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. So he just said, remember, you know, a man of good treasure out of his heart bringeth good. You know, bringeth what is good. But if that man is evil, out of his heart bringeth evil, right? You know, so for the abundance, it depends on how great that evil is, or how great that love is, right? For out of abundance, the heart of his mouth speaketh. Okay? Now, so what's coming out of his mouth is coming from the heart. All right? Verse 46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things that I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will shew you to whom he is like. So now we're going back on the shore that I read you guys this morning. You know what he is like. You know, a man who built his house on rock or sand. Okay? So let's start with 46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So what he's saying, what you calling me for? You're not even doing what I'm saying. You know, you only calling me when you need something, or when you're in great distress. But once you come out that distress and everything come back normal, you can care less about the fact that I helped you. You know, so you keep calling on to me and ask you to help me, but you're not helping yourself to do the things about following my instructions and my guidelines. Why do you keep on coming to call on the Lord if you're not even trying to walk the Lord's walk? Walk that narrow path, but you're going to go to him when you're in distress and something happens. Oh, Lord God, please, please, please help me. I'm dying. And as soon as he saves you, you just kick him and forget. So like he said, why do ye, call me Lord, Lord, and do not do the things that I say? Ask yourself that. If you're going to call on him, you want to come say, then do the things he asks, right? And he said, now, for verse 47, whosoever come to me and hear my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like, all right? Verse 48, he is like a man which built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. So it just tell you, it's up to you. Either you're going to build your house on a sand or rock. Either you're going to call on Lord and do the things he say, or if you're not, either you're going to listen to him and come to him and speak to him so he can lead you, so you can build that house on a foundation on a rock and not sand. So when they come beat that house down, they can't beat it because it's strong like a rock. But don't be that person, living in la-la land, living delusion, think you built your house on a rock, but it's on sand. So when it come and beat you, it's going to fall regardless. Because even though you may be strong in that beginning, if you're not following the righteous or the narrow path, in the end, you're going to fall, period. And that's written. So even those that's out there trying to do this and do that and call themselves not trying to get involved in things, like, oh, we ain't got no parts there, but still not walking that narrow path, you're going to fall too. In the end, it happens. You still going to be thrown in that fire. You still going to fall, okay? Because it's written, okay? All right, you guys. I hope you guys learned something from St. Luke on, how you can build your foundation on the rock so you can be protected, and how you bless with certain things and how destruction will come to you for other things, okay? Again, this is St. Luke chapter 6. Verse 12 to 49. I started at 12 to 49, but when verses 1 to 12, I told you guys about, the Messiah walking through the synagogue, sitting the people, making a man whole, things like that, choosing his disciples and things like that. All right, you guys. So it's Tuesday. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday, right? Don't forget, you guys, to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Okay. Follow these sayings, right? And you guys should be good. Love you guys. Bye now.